he saw two people who are heavily armed. One was shooting at a car and the other was shooting at a security guard who was already lying down. He identified the people as being slim, and they are wearing black headscarves and combat trousers which were jungle green in color. He also saw that they had ammunition strapped around their chests. So from the point where they were peeping from, one of the people looked at them.
That's right.
And shouted, saying, he lifted up his hand and said, his fist up and said, "We are Al-Shabaab." The two people started moving upstairs. This was on the second floor. And Thomas shouted to the people who were behind him that there were Al-Shabaab around, and everybody ran away. As they scampered for safety, more gunshots were heard. They became intense. Now, I'll summarize here. Let me read in English. I'll summarize for you, then we'll explain. There were several cars parked facing the wall. He managed to step on a car bonnet, held the top of the edge of the wall, pulled and went along the edge of the wall. He went to the west of the building, Peponi House. He met about 15 people who had also managed to escape. He then heard a loud bang. He went to the delivery gate where he found a lot of people. The gate was closed, but they managed to jump over it. Once they were outside Westgate, they ran towards Peponi Road. From there, he proceeded home. He said that he saw the two people who appeared to be of Somali origin, and those are the only people that he saw. You can explain that? Paul Mulandi Bonzi was also the head of security at Westgate Mall. He worked in conjunction with Securities Agency. He says that he had between 33 and 36 guards, either during the weekday or weekend. He gave an outline of how the area was manned by the security guards. He was on duty on the material day, and at about 12:30 p.m. there was a blackout. He had two explosions from Mwanzi Road, which were followed by shooting. He was in company of one Morris. They ran towards the main vehicle entry. He then spotted two men ahead of him who were shouting in English, "Stop, stop." There was heavy shooting at the car park. The two men were shooting at the cars and at the same time shouting. Their heads were covered with headscarves, but their faces were visible. He says that one of those people, whom he called a terrorist, bypassed him and he could see somebody following from behind. Now that was a third terrorist. He was also armed and wore a black headscarf just like the other two. He says he heard the three terrorists communicating in Somali language. And then he saw his colleague Morris, with whom he had been being shot at severally. The terrorists went to the basement of the building where they shot at everybody. The terrorists went upstairs, then came back afterwards and continued to shoot at Morris. PW4 says that there was heavy explosion and shooting. He hid himself in some flowers until when police officers came and they rescued him. Prosecution witness number 5 is PC Ali Miraj. He was attacked to G4S. He was doing escort duties at the time. They were at Westgate Mall to escort cash to the bank. They had arrived there at around 11:30. They were standing outside a Safaricom shop when they had some gunshots coming from the main entrance, and initially they thought it was a normal robbery. He was with his colleagues. He, however, saw two people who are wearing bulletproof jackets and some magazine stocks around their waist. Their heads were covered with headscarves, and initially he confused them with the officers from the GSU. So he stood behind one of the pillars and waved his hand, asking them what the problem was. When the terrorists saw him, they shot at him severally. They were armed with AK-47 rifles. He took cover behind the pillars. He exchanged fire with them. They tried to come to the first floor where he was, but he was able to prevent them by shooting at them. They went back, took another direction, and reappeared. He shot severally to cover himself, and the terrorist threw a grenade at the pillar where he was shielding himself. There was an explosion, and he shot at them as he moved to take cover behind another pillar. He managed to reach his colleague who was hiding behind another pillar about 7 meters away, and the colleague gave him more rounds of ammunition. However, they realized that the terrorists were many, they could not manage them, and therefore they withdrew. They entered the lift, went to the ground floor, and moved out of the building while still shooting. On their way out, they met two police officers in civilian clothes, one Asian and one white. And these two police officers in civilian clothes were trying to evacuate civilians from the building. during the attack. There were school children who were attending, who were doing some cookery on the fourth floor. His duties, among other people, was to carry utensils to the ceremony. In the process, he had some gunshots. He thought it was a normal robbery, but afterwards people came running and told them that there were Al-Shabaab who had invaded the building. He was unable to run away and he lay down in the parking. On the left leg, on the shoulder, and in the right arm. He says he lay on the ground for many hours. He was in a lot of pain, but afterwards he struggled to move under the vehicles in the parking. He was bleeding profusely and he could not move or crawl anymore. He moved and stayed under the vehicle. He lost consciousness and later found himself admitted at MP Shah Hospital. He was there for 12 days. Muini Kitemi was a driver with East African contractors, but at the material time he was working with Jidan Enterprises. He was at the time the driver of Toyota Town SKBS 629Q. They used to supply vegetables to various supermarkets, including Westgate Mall. On the material day at around noon, he had taken vegetables to Westgate, and he was on his way out when he spotted a grey. He was driving out when he met a grey Mitsubishi car. The vehicle passed him and turned to the right. It then stopped and about 4 or 5 people alighted. And they started shooting. They shot at him. The bullet missed his head narrowly, but his vehicle was hit with the bullet and the window broke. One of the terrorists' heads fell and he remained with a black cloth on his head. So PW14 says he was with his loader Willie, and they alighted from the vehicle and hid under that vehicle. They afterwards stood up and rushed to a nearby house, where they stayed until the police came to their rescue. He says that this vehicle, KBA 629Q, was initially mistaken for one of the vehicles used by the terrorists. Because he had left it at the scene. He however went to the police station, explained the circumstances, and the vehicle was given back to him. Geoffrey Kotia there was a cooking competition at Westgate. He was coming from the bank at around 12:30 p.m., going to the second floor where the cooking competition was going on. He heard gunshots. He saw his colleague running away. There are also many people running away from the mall. He commanded the people to lie down, and the bullets were coming from the upper parking entrance. At this time, he had not seen the people who were shooting. The shooting went on, and after a few minutes, the terrorists arrived where the people were lying down. There was an explosion in the parking lot, and he peeped and saw the terrorist. At the crowd. Geoffrey says that he was shot on the left side of the chest and on both legs, and a grenade was also thrown where he was. It exploded and some people were burned. He also sustained injuries from the grenade attack. He says that everyone who was at the scene was shot. One of the terrorists then made a phone call and spoke in a language that Geoffrey could not understand. After that call, the two terrorists went into the mall and left them lying on the ground. The shooting continued. He says Red Cross came. He lay on the ground for more than 4.5 hours. At around 4 p.m., he was picked and taken to Aga Khan Hospital. He says that a bullet stuck in his body. So the next batch of witnesses are the police response team that arrived there. EW7 is Corporal Nicholas Kaberia, who works with the diplomatic police unit. He was on patrol around Westgate. He was on patrol duties within Nakumat Junction along Gong Road. He had a communication from the control room that there was an incident taking place at Westgate Mall. He rushed to the scene. He found two police officers, an inspector who was in uniform and another who was in civilian clothes. He moved around and removed his shirt for his security. He had his AK-47 rifle, but assessing the situation, he called his controller, and he called the controller and informed him of how things were. Who instructed him to put his gun down and go towards him. So Corporal Nicholas Kaberia thought that this one was a police officer, so he started to explain to him that he was going to rescue people trapped in the supermarket. But when he looked around, he saw another man whose head was covered with a black piece of cloth, and he had an AK-47 rifle. One of the people spoke to the other, saying, I quote, "Can we finish this rubbish?" in Kiswahili. So Corporal Nicholas immediately went down and then started shooting at the people. They shot at him. He was injured, but he also managed to shoot one of them. He sustained 4 gunshot wounds in the ribs, on the left foot, and in the right shoulder. He was able to sneak out of the supermarket and went to Mpisha Hospital. PW8 is Piscifinius Kiremi. He was doing patrol duties around Riverside area and Westlands. The duty officer called him on his phone and told him that there were thugs terrorizing people at Westgate Mall, and requested him, together with his colleague Mulwa, to proceed there. When he got there, there were many people, there were gunshots all over. They proceeded to Nakumatt supermarket within the PW9 is Moses Sombati, a senior assistant commissioner of police then. He was at Kasarani when he heard through the police communication media that there was a shooting at Westgate. Initially, they thought it was a robbery incident, but the shooting continued for long and there were explosions were heard, with reports of casualties and deaths. They realized that was not a robbery but a terror attack. He mobilized his officers to alert hospitals that of what was happening, and he requested the Inspector General to furnish them with GSU personnel. He went to the scene where he experienced heavy shooting from the building. At the entrance to the Westgate building, he came across many dead bodies. He organized for ambulance to evacuate the casualties. GSU officers arrived and they moved into the building. He accompanied them. They managed to evacuate some of the members of the public trapped in the building on the second floor. He says that as they were moving to the second floor, the terrorists took cover on that floor According to Unfortunately, those two employees were later shot dead as they tried to rescue a woman who was crying. The officers managed to evacuate the other hostages who were trapped in the building. As they were doing that, there was shooting directed at the police officers that the GSU squad from a person who had hidden himself in some mattresses. One of the officers was shot dead, but again the officers managed to shoot and kill the terrorist who had been shooting at them. And the terrorist who was one officer was shot dead and 5 others were seriously injured. Later on, they were informed that the military had taken over. PW10 is Chief Inspector Pascal Kiamba. He was serving the diplomatic police in the diplomatic police at that time. One of the diplomats called him on the material day and told him that he had been informed that his staff that were at Westgate were experiencing shooting. Another diplomat shortly went into his office and told him the same thing. So PW10 went to the scene. There was shooting all over. He took about 6 police officers and they went to the main entrance. There were bodies lying on the pavement, the flower gardens, and others trapped in vehicles. And there were others under vehicles. The place and went to attend to diplomats who are residing in apartments adjacent to the mall. Police Constable Benjamin Chenjor, witness number 11, he was attached to the CID flying squad and he said that his major duty was patrol. On the material day, they were on patrol around Mombasa Road. When they were informed or given reports of fear shooting at the Westgate Mall, when they reached there, they met some people who informed them what was happening. When they were moving in, they saw dead bodies and spent cartridges from AK-47 rifles. They went inside and were able to rescue a number of hostages. They cleared the 4th floor and went to the 3rd floor, moving in a single line to avoid confusion. He then saw 2 men, both wearing black headscarves and armed with AK-47. The officers engaged the terrorists in shooting. One of his colleagues was shot, and he went down with him and evacuated him from the king and took. Now, the next batch of witnesses are witnesses who are giving evidence of events that happened prior to the attack. There is PW15 Sylvester Mutunga Chundu. He worked at Barclays Bank, Queensway branch. He was shown some photographs of people who had gone to the bank on 6th of September 2013 at around 7:30 p.m. Two of them were of Somali origin and the rest were, the other 2 are Africans. Grace Wamuru was also working as a cashier at the Barclays Bank Queensway branch. He was on duty and he is the one who had these people who went to the.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna baadhi he is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Fahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa, sasa najuaje maisha ilikuwa.
Wakati namuuliza maisha.
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku. Usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love, because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna baadhi he is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Fahamu Kiongozi.
Yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
mimi nilizaliwa sasa najuaje maisha yalikuwa
Wakati namuuliza maisha
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku, usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna Uhuru is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Fahamu Kiongozi.
yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa sasa najuaje maisha yalikuwa
Wakati namuuliza maisha
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku, usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on The Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service at the All Saints Cathedral from 11 a.m.
Kila siku ya Jumatano tunazungumza, tunaulizana na tunajuzana masuala ibuka ya kisiasa.
Kuna Uhuru is not in Kirinyaga.
Maisha yangu ni huru na watu wangu wanyali.
Tulivunja vyama vya URP na TNA na vyama vingine tanzu, ndio tukaunda chama inaitwa Jubilee.
Mijadala komavu kuhusu yanayokuhusu, na zaidi ya yote tunakupa nafasi kumfahamu kiongozi wako katika kipindi Fahamu Kiongozi.
yako kama mtoto ilikuwa gani?
Mimi nilizaliwa sasa najuaje maisha yalikuwa
Wakati namuuliza maisha
Kwanza ilikuwa tu ni jaribu kabisa kufikia pahali ambapo nitafika Nairobi. Najua ilikuwa ni kazi ambayo ilichukua siku mingi sana kufika Nairobi.
Kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 1:30 hadi saa 2:30. Ungana naye Elizabeth Mutuku, usikose.
It is said that cooking is one of the greatest gifts you can give those you love because nothing brings people together like good food. Join Chef Hamadi every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as he teaches us some simple and quick recipes, only on the Throwdown.
You are the mighty God, the great I am. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
This and every Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come, worship straight from your home as we bring you the Sunday church service.
He later learned that he had gone to Somalia, but again they met in Isli in 2013. Where PW25 had gone to look for employment. So in 2013, he was staying with his uncle Abdullahi in Isli, Muhammad Abdullahi. So when Abdinur met him, he reminded him that they had been together in Kakuma. They exchanged phone numbers, and he noted that Mohammed's number was 0726658736, while that of PW25 was 0700903331. Mohammed later called him and told him that he wanted him to assist him to get a lady to marry. PW25 introduced Mohammed to a lady called Zamzam, who was his college mate at Alimura College at the time. However, Zamzam refused to marry Abdinur, and this led to PW25 exchanging bitter words with Abdinur, and they stopped communication. He was initially arrested, but he was released later after he explained the circumstances under which he had communicated with Abdinur. PW26 is Abdullahi Mohammed Omar. He was senior chief Buljahamria location in Mandera County. And his evidence was that he was not involved in the vetting of one Adan A. Aden, as appearing in some documents where Adan A. Aden used to get his national identity card. PW27 is Said Salim Dado Godana. He was the registrar of persons within Mandera County, and his work was to produce a register in which the name of Adan A. Aden appears as having been vetted and issued, and his document forwarded to Nairobi for issuance of an ID card. PW29 is Ibrahim Hussein. He said he was the assistant chief of Gurabawas at location, and he also denied that he was aware of the vetting of Adan A. Aden, although his name Ibrahim Hussein appears in the form, and there is also a signature that he denied was his. PW30 Ali Muhammad Hassan was chief of Shafi County, Mandera East in Mandera County, He gave the procedures for vetting of applicants for national identity cards. And he said that his name appears in the minutes, but he was not present at the meeting. He was not sure of his deal in 2007, but said it was either Maina or Omar. Muhammad Ali. He said he was from Kismayu in Somalia. He stayed at the time of the Westgate attack. He was staying on the 4th Street in Isli. He stayed in a 2-story building, but he stayed on the ground floor in a 3-bedroom house where he paid 18,000 as rent. And one of those rooms.
He sublet one of those rooms to one Mohammed, who used to pay him Kenya shillings 7,000 per month. He says that Mohammed moved into the room alone in August or September 2013. He says he stayed in that house for not more than 20 days. A friend will come and visit him there, and he could not tell why he moved out. He left with his briefcase, but the mattress was left in the room. He said he only communicated once to Mohammed when Mohammed was asking him to reserve the room for him. And he said that up to the time of giving evidence, he had not seen Mohammed again. PW35 was Nimo Mohammed, who was living in Pumwani Estate at the material time. He said her husband was called Hussein Abdi, and she said that she knew one Abdi Kadir.
He was a madrasa teacher, and he came to her home once. The madrasa was called Salmin, and it was owned by Malim Adan. This Malim Adan was the third accused person in this case. Now, we move to the arrest of the accused persons. PW31 is Corporal Gabriel Lentivangoi. On 28th of September 2013, with PC Rungu, Sergeant Gilbert Chepkwony as driver, they were dispatched to Kakuma for investigations. While they were in Kitale, they received information that one of the suspects was being pursued. Whom they were pursuing was to travel from Nairobi to Eldoret, and they wait to arrest him. Because he was suspected to have participated in the Westgate attack. Mohammed Abdi is the first accused person in this case, and they arrested him on 30th of September 2013 at around 16 hours, a few kilometers from Kitale town. He was traveling in a Nissan Matatu. They had his phone number 0719050559, and they were using it to track him. Upon arrest, they recovered the following items from him: a laptop, a Nokia 103 phone, national ID in the name of the accused person, and a black HP laptop bag. These items were produced in court as exhibits number 32, 33, 34, and 35. The suspect told them that he lived on 2nd Avenue in Isli and that he was an Islamic teacher at Islamic Ibao Kativ Madrasa. Corporal Ali Bakari was involved in the arrest of the second accused person. He says that the suspect was selling some clothes at Mandara shopping mall. They conducted a search on him and recovered a mobile phone, Nokia 305, which serial number he gave. The phone was produced at exhibit 39, and there was also a SIM card which was produced as exhibit 40. PW 33 is Sergeant Stephen Munyao. They are the ones who arrested the person from
2nd Avenue in Isli. At that time, he had been identified as Adan Abdikadir. They recovered a Nokia 201 and a SIM card whose number has been given. That is exhibit 41 and 42, and then a Nokia 100 exhibit 43, and IMEI number was given of the SIM card there. On cross-examination, he said that there was a madrasa on the ground floor operated by the third accused person. 3 other people also arrested, but they were released afterwards. He said that he never saw the third accused person's national identity card at the time of arrest or in the house, but it was recovered later at the ATPU, that is Anti-Terrorism Police Unit headquarters later.
Said that their identities had been stolen and used to register phone lines. There is Catherine W. Munya, that is prosecution witness number 34. ID had been used to register a phone for one Abdikadir Abdiside. With PW 36 was Joseph Njoroge Kimondo. He was an administration police officer based in Molo. Joseph Njoroge Kimondo. He said that he had never lost his national identity card, and he said he was not aware that his national identity card 2598946 had been used to register phone line number 0718090557. That was the number that was used in the registration of the insurance for the motor vehicle. Rose Wakonyo Mukele, she said she gave her national identity card number, but said that she was not aware of telephone number 07127432260, which is one of the numbers that had been that was identified as having been used at the Westgate Mall attack. And the said number had been registered to one Abdi. She said, these witnesses said they had never lost their original national identity cards, but that they had lost copies at one point. Now we go to investigations. The first investigation witness is Inspector Newton Mwiti Timanyo, PW13. His duty was to he says that he was not around, but on 22nd of September 2013, he arrived from up country and found that Westgate Mall had been taken siege of, and there were armed forces around at the scene, and there were people conducting investigations. There were senior police officers, including his commander and the director of CID then, of DCI then, Mr. Muhoro Ndegwa. At that time, the military was engaged inside the mall trying to neutralize the threats by the terrorists. His evidence is that they went to the vehicle that had been parked, which had been used by the terrorists, number KAS 575X. It was at the entrance of the Westgate Mall. When it had been cleared by the bomb disposal units, they were allowed to open the vehicle. And everything there was intact, save for the boot, which had been bombed open by the bomb disposal units. The doors of the car were still closed.
New, any change, it's very important. And
the windows
Want to sell it online in minutes?
The windows were tinted.
With Wix e-commerce, you can do just that. Meet Angel,
Before
founder
he
of
made
the
safety
Spice.
pin inside the vehicle when he peeped
any
inside.
lamp, anything new, any change, it's very important. And
he opened the door and found torn papers shredded in pieces. He found torn papers. He opened the door and found torn papers
This
that
and
had been
every
shredded.
Sunday, TV47 brings church straight to your home. Come.
There was also a yellow fever certificate that was torn. Two exercise books with their phone numbers. There was a Safaricom subscription form, payment receipt for a gym. There were two black wallets for SIM cards, for SIM card holders, and a total of 5 SIM card holders were recovered. The numbers for this, the serial numbers for these SIM cards have been given, and there is no dispute on this. I did not go through them. They are very long numbers, and there are several. He also said he found one bullet, caliber 7.62 millimeter special, used in AK-47 rifles, and there were over 200 packets for bullets. The second witness is Ezekiel Lulei, and Sergeant Lulei said that he had worked together with Newton Nwiti Timanyo. But initially, he had been informed of the shooting at Westgate by his superior, Chief Inspector Charles Ogeto. He was heading to Westgate when he was advised to go to various hostels in Nairobi and find out about the casualties. They also went to the city mortuary where they saw bodies of people. He says that most of the victims had sustained bullet injuries. They later went to Westgate Mall and linked up with his colleagues, and they started carrying out the investigations. He was the one who received information from Mwini Kitemi, PW14, that motor vehicle KPS 629Q Toyota Town S was his.
Allow us to incorporate her in the discussion, or have her joining us in the discussion.
We go to the expert witnesses. There is Dr. Johansen Odwor, who led a team of pathologists that conducted forensic examination of the bodies that had been shot, and of the bodies that had been shot at the morgue. To produce the postmortem reports, Exhibit 64 to 107. Lawrence, Senior Superintendent of Police Lawrence Dhiwa, is a firearm examiner attached to the firearm laboratories at the DCI headquarters. He was given the following firearms and ammunition for examination.
And again, we're in that conversation.
He was given the following firearms and ammunition for examination.
We still have Dr. Marek with me.
And he conducted his examination and prepared a report which was produced as Exhibit 55.
Pushed out there so people stay woke. And importantly, we have Jane Francis
There was
joining us.
a rifle.
He is a cancer survivor. Will be taking us through her story briefly because of time. And
There were two G3 rifles and then 4 AK-47 rifles. He was also given exhibits which contained exploded cartridges, assorted live ammunitions,
very crucial for every other woman, for every other man out there. We
35
still
bullets,
have Dr. Marek with me. This
all which were said to have been
responsible
recovered from the Westgate Mall. And he was required to ascertain the type of firearm and the firearm that was used in those exhibits.
Stage 4, so it's difficult to manage.
He was told that these exhibits had been found or recovered at the scene, and he did his examination and prepared his report.
Any lump, anything new, any change, it's very
He
important.
gave evidence identifying each of those rifles here. PW39 is Inspector of Police Joseph Kolum.
Any lump, anything new, any change, it's very important, and we would usually
A
start
forensic computer and cellular investigator with the ATPU under the DCI.
some other diagnostics with
He was given a laptop, a compact laptop, whose serial number has been given. The serial number was a subject of contention, but I'll mention the issues when we reach the analysis. But he was given a laptop serial number, which was produced as exhibit number 108. Serial number was given. There was an exhibit memo form accompanying the laptop, which indicated that it had been recovered from one Mohammed Ahmed Abdi along the Kitale Eldoret Highway in a public vehicle. He was requested to examine the contents and whether there was any evidence relating to this case. He subjected the laptop to forensic examination. Now, that witness gave his evidence thoroughly, indicating what he did. I need not go into this. He indicated the size of the hard disk. He indicated the tools that he used to get through into the computer, breaking the passwords and getting to the contents. He then said that he copied the images on a clean storage device. He then analyzed the information, and he said he used a tool, FTK forensic toolkit, to analyze the information and get copies thereof to the storage media. Thirdly, he reviewed the internet history that had been given on that computer using a tool called Internet Evidence Finder version number 3.3. And he said that using that tool, he was able to know the sites that had been visited on that laptop. So